This is a really pleasure talking to you guys like this. We shot this film in 2024 October. It took really some time. Because that's because I was trying to make it really perfect and make it simple. Actually, it's not too complicated. And first of all, I would really thank my cast and crew. They stood really long hours. A lot of times it was 12 hours a day actually. So nights, day, hot weather, cold weather, all these things we experienced within just 3 weeks of time. So the entire film was shot in Dallas itself. So for this, a lot of people helped us in DFW, and especially my friend Sai Gandham. So he brought so many resources like locations, a lot of people, and whatever I need, I used to really go to him. Thanks Sai for that. And I really wanted to thank Gopal Garu. Gopal Garu, he really allowed he gave his office actually to shoot some of the important scenes in this film. The scene in this film, right? The cops, whatever the shots we shot, like, conference room, office. I made sure every inch was used in this film. So thank you very much, Gopal Garu, for that. Congratulations for your recent success. Nari Narva Murali. For people who don't know, this is the South Indian Telugu film currently available on Amazon. Thank you very much for making it available for us. And thank you very much, Sharan Garu, for being here tonight. So I appreciate that.
And I forgot to mention Mohana Garu, the mother. She's here. She acted so well, like last gate purchase. Please. Saanvi.
Hey, Saanvi. Not but not least, baby. So, nobody was, when I was trying to cast, nobody was ready to give their baby to act in this film. So, but, my realtor actually, she gave her baby, Maya. She's right here.
Woo! Cheer for Maya.
Yeah, she's baby.
And the parents.
Thank you very much, Maya. Now she grown up after like 1.5 years. Alright. And thank you very much, guys. I'll hand it over to you right now. Yeah.
An amazing effort, Arun. Amazing effort. Amazing. Every time I tried to escape the screenings because of question and answers and reviews, but this time I feel proud that Dallas guys made this. So,
woo! Guys!
Really, from the beginning to end, generally it's very tough to make real incidents as movies. Very, very tough. I mean, we can commercialize everything and make sure that putting you in the seat for 1.5 hour to 2 hours, it's a very, very tough thing when the commercialization is not there. But I feel that you succeeded without any commercialization. And I didn't know that it's a real incident till I saw the last things. So, but one thing what I can appreciate is the thought process and how gambling is killing our people technically, and somewhere I need that one in the beginning or end. So when the main concept is, so it's a very, very good effort, and I can appreciate each and every one of the cast and crew because I know how hard it is to work in these conditions and not knowing the result. It's easy for doing a commercial movie because we know that at this place people will laugh, at this place people will cry and all this stuff. But when a real incident is made as a movie, you have to follow some ethics, and which I sincerely feel that Arun has followed, and all the cast and crew. They just made sure that today we can, and don't tell, we can enjoy the movie. We can see the movie from beginning to end, engaged, and learn something from the movie. And Sai, you did a great job as well. Everyone, I don't know your name. Harsh. And as a content show, you did a very good job. Mona, you did a good job. And DOP, I mean, I know the limitations. Within your limitations, you did a very great job.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and all the sponsors. Thank you very much.
Is it okay now?
No, I can't hear you.
Okay. This one? Like this? Is it better? Okay, sorry about that. No, all I'm trying to say is I think Arun gave me a little more credit than I deserve. The real credit should really go to Sai Gandham, because I got to know Arun through Sai, and I did meet Arun after that. I think I'm actually pleasantly surprised with the quality. In fact, I'm actually shocked to see the kind of quality, because I didn't really expect anything like this. This is a true story, and sometimes when you're actually dealing with a true story, you can't really take a lot of cinematic liberties that you typically tend to see it with regular commercial cinema. But I think with the kind of resources he got and kind of budget he has, the output was really amazing. There is no real hero in this movie, but if I had to say that there is a hero, that has to be Arun. Yeah. Because he really deserved that applause. But it was really well done. Great job, Arun. I think you need to really get into mainstream now. So people like maybe Anil Sunkaragaru can give some kind of opportunities, or maybe put a word to the other producers, because he really deserves some limelight, actually.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me, and I appreciate you calling me into this section. Thank you.
Congratulations, Arun Konda. This is a wonderful film, though it's a heart-wrenching film. I thoroughly enjoyed and gripping. My first reaction is the casting is amazing. So, particularly all the 4 characters, they did extremely well. I don't know, the credit should go to them. They really they made believe those characters, particularly Raghu, and then Shiva, male side, and Komali, and Mohana. These all 4 actually, they carried the grimness of the film, the trueness, and they brought the trueness as if we are really watching it. Right? That is really amazing, and you extracted that work very well. And Bob is a Bob. So I have a very good relationship, and I am Sai Gandham. We have one. This thing is supposed to be done. Still, we are waiting for Bob's dates.
He has that screen presence.
Yeah. So the music is good, and the cinematography feels so realistic, as if we are witnessing lurking in a corner and doing what is going on. And then, as I said earlier, it's a very heart-wrenching, and you brought the essence of it, and how easy money. Going after easy money, how what makes it difficult, and spur of the moment something can happen, and then how it leads. These are all very amazingly. You truly presented it well. I think the the result will be definitely it's shown on the film, and people are going to talk about it in the sense debating about the situations and why it is important as well. So really congratulations to you, and good luck to you in all your future endeavors.
Incident. So, but I written multiple versions. The perspective was actually changed. I thought of making, parents' point of view, but that was something like a prisoner's film in the past. So I didn't want to do that way. So I changed entirely. My curiosity was actually the psychology of the gambling. So I started researching about general psychology or state of mind of the gambling person. So what happened was, they usually, I studied so much of that. It's just not about this case, it's also in general around the world. It's a universal theme, if you notice. So it doesn't have to be, it belongs to some specific person or anybody. So what they usually do is beg, borrow, steal, and in certain extreme cases, they do something like this. So, but Only thing is that this is something like this in Indian community in US. It's never happened before. So that's the first point. Triggered this story, and the casting. So casting is one of the reason. The filming was little delayed actually. So one, baby, two, Raghu character. So I saw a film called Girls Will Be Girls in one of the festival. That's when after watching like 10 minutes or so, I realized that so this is the guy who should act this film. And by the time he reached India, actually, I wanted to shoot this film, but he went to India. He's living there right. So I have to bring him here to act in this film. That's the part. Yeah, that's one step I did. And baby, nobody's, like I said, nobody was trying to, nobody is excited about the story. They don't want to give their baby to act in this film. So luckily we got Maya here. So those are the kind of couple of challenges I had. Yeah, and once we got those two resources, I reached to my friend Eugene, cinematographers. And my another friend, of course, Sai, he put some of the location resources. That's how we ended up making this thing. But again, so after all doing that, again, who will cry? Who will, in place of a mother? So I did a lot of casting for that role, especially because that's one of the major role I would say. So I did auditions, for a lot of people. It's luckily we got Mohana, so she cried so well. Yeah, yeah. So and after that I started filling all the roles, and of course Bob and Harsh, they played very well, and all other supporting actors from Dallas. Most of them are Dallas, except the hero who came from India.
So what was the preparation be like? Like, what was that?
Well, first of all, this character that came to me through auditioning, Arun told me about it. He said, listen, like, I saw a lot of depth in you. I saw a lot of like sadness in you, and I think you can play this mother. I was like, okay, I'm not a mother. I have nieces, so honestly, it's the darkest place you can go to as an actor. You have to think about the worst possible scenario. So I had to put my nieces in that scenario, unfortunately. Maya, so sweet, so wonderful, and she was so fun to work with. But also imagining her, happening to her, and that's a piece of your soul, right? So for any mom, that's a piece of your soul gone. So every scene I had with Harsh, every scene I had with Komli, like it was just, their actions brought a lot out of me. So when I saw them, because they could see that I'm not healed and I'm broken. So that brought more tears, that brought more action. And I have to say that scene where she finds out on the TV that, she's gone. That was the hardest scene for me that day, because everybody around me was working the set. Eugene, everybody was setting up everything, and I was like, okay, time to cry on Harsh.
I mean,
a lot.
I was seeing like your nose was like, oh damn, she was not acting, she was living in that character.
Yeah, it was really hard, because then after that you're like, oh, okay, normal life. That was very, very dark, but very, very good. And that was a very, very good film, guys. Very, very well made. Well made. Thank you so much for having me as Lata.
This frame like more psychological, make it thrilling. Like, did you learn anything, or what was the approach?
It's very interesting. Oh, no. It's very interesting they bring it up because David Fincher is one of my favorite directors of all time.
Yeah, mine too.
And even in my style, I get a lot of inspiration from him. And a lot of, the conversations that me and Arun had was, how can we tell this story through the cinematic approach? And it's, obviously we have a fantastic cast, and we had some really great locations, and we had some good resources, but it's like, how can we make the audience tense even more? How can we like him a certain way where he's being mischievous? or how can you make him look innocent? So there are these moments that we really broke down lighting wise, and also playing things with like the focus on it. How we deceive, or how can we telegraph something on that? So these were all conversations we had. But David Fincher is a huge influence of mine.
That's good to know. And also like the shots you made in India, like especially Raghu's background and all, like what was the plan? Like what Arun said, Arun Konda must have a vision, and how he translated it to you.
So it's really interesting because it was hard finding. That's one of the hardest locations because it was shot here in Dallas, but it's like, how do we make a house, just a traditional regular U.S. house, look like a house in India? And production design did a fantastic job. And then we did, a couple of camera settings, and we chose a couple of angles to kind of really help sell that no, we did film this in India kind of thing. We wanted a different tone to it, and I think it came across.
I mean, for those of you who have been to clubs in Hyderabad, it was almost looking like that. And Harsh, now you are like a father. So if you see his character, he was like not completely broken. He was neither this nor that. I was like, okay, now he has to support her. At the same time, he has that grief in him. He cannot show it. You acted so well, as if I was like, you see, certain people act like Morgan Freeman or someone like that. You literally acted like them, like subtle expressions.
Thank you so much.
They really mattered.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how did you prepare? Like I wanted to ask, like.
Well, as an actors, we try to get an inspiration from real people. And when you don't have a reference, it's very hard to emote on screen. I actually, I read about this person, and I read it multiple times, and I realized, what he went through. It's very hard for a person to go through all these emotions. So I kept, preparing for it. I remember I was not talking when I was preparing for it. I didn't talk much to my family. I was just by myself, just thinking about that person. How would that person be thinking when this happened to him? And he has to support his wife as well. And then I would also like to thank my director. He gave me that liberty to express myself on screen. That actually came up very well together. And I would really like to thank the whole cast for helping me out with this, playing this character.
Good to know. Good. నేను ఏడ నిల్చుంటే ఆడనే బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అని రవితేజ డైలాగ్ కొట్టిండ్రు లైక్ నాకు ఇంకా మెదడులోనే జరుగుతుంది. ఐ మీన్ లైక్ హీ గేవ్ దిస్ డైలాగ్ లైక్ వాట్ ఐ ఆస్క్డ్ హిమ్ వాట్ ఇస్ ది బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్. ఇట్స్ లైక్ వేర్ ఎవర్ ఐ స్టాండ్ దట్స్ మై బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్. It's like a famous Telugu dialogue. He literally said that, like as if as an antagonist or something. And
Hello.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah. First of all, I'll take few moments to how am I related to these four legends here. I worked. Anil Sunkaragaru is the first man who gave me an employment, and I took the first salary from him. Thank you very much, sir. And the second person, Mr. Gopal, because of him, I got my green card, and he gave me a second life in USA. And the third person, Harisharan Garu, he is the one who recommended me to as an actor for the film. Telugu film, Prema Enta Maduram Priyaralu Anta Katnam. That is my first feature film. And the fourth person, Arun, yeah, you all saw me as a Bob. That's where he introduced me as a Bob, and this is my first English movie. Thank you very much for all of you. These are the four pillars of my career path. And coming to this character, actually, he don't have, while he was thinking about this Bob character, he want to shoot this by hiring an actor. He want to go to Vegas and some gangster looks kind of a thing. So he told me that, if you know any actor, something, what I'm looking for, then I asked him, I just want to give it a try because this is a challenging character and very critical. Even though it's a very short character, I want to give it a try. Then he did not easily pass me through. He initially wanted me to give an audition, whereas me and my friend who is sitting in the back, Harish, made a video thinking it would be a good one. But after looking at that video, Arun was so scared and he told that you are not suitable for this character. Then I asked him, okay, this is what I did it from my perspective. You tell me what is that you need from this character. Tell me, so that I can understand it and do my best. Then he sat with me and, showed me some, characters from previous English movies and also some real characters who were playing gambling, in the casinos. So after that, I went back to home and did my homework, and I made 2 versions of auditions for him. Then he immediately called me that you are the one, you are selected. Thank you very much, Arun, for giving me this character. Though we did not work on screen, every day we used to meet, right? Eugene and everybody, of course. Thank you for all that you had done for me. And last but not the least, all the sponsors. I don't know how many of you are here. Whenever we approached you, without any hesitation, you supported us. Thank you all. I don't want to name one and miss the other one. All the sponsors, media partners who supported this event along with this movie, thank you very much. And of course, Chief Guest Anil Sukkar Garki, thank you very much. And Gopal Garu, as you always support, thank you, sir. Harsharan Garu, the same way, thank you very much. Yeah.
Saanvi, it's a real life instant movie, and which was picturized very well by Arun Konda, who is from Dallas, and it's a very, very great effort and amazing output. I wish it succeeds in all the festivals, and Arun will be making more movies and more versatile movies and with different genres and everything. Thank you very much.
నా పేరు హరిచరణ్ ప్రసాద్. నేను ఇక్కడ డాలస్ మెక్కినీదలో ఉంటాను. ఫిలిం ప్రొడ్యూసర్ని, డైరెక్టర్ని. సో దిస్ Saanvi by Arun Konda is really an important film, because the issue it is dealing is such a universal issue. It's related to gambling, and then how we are going after easy money, how difficult it is, and in the spur of a moment what we do, how the lives will be changed. That has been shown very truly in a right way. At the same time, it's a heart-wrenching story. This will create a lot of debate, a lot of discussion, like what is important, the value system when you're here, not to get into the temptations. But film is fantastic, very truly depicted the true stories in a right way. The casting is extremely good, cinematography is wonderful, the direction is outstanding. So I recommend everyone to watch Saanvi when they get a chance. And congratulations to Sai, the person behind this great initiative, which he has, I think, as a backbone, stood firmly and helped the Saanvi 2 team to come out with such a wonderful product and a production. Thank you.